Is it bodybuilding?
Bodybuilding, whiskey, and cigars.
Anybody close to 300 pounds, move the mic away from your face.
Welcome to another
Darth Vader
edition of Bodybuilding, Whiskey, and Cigars podcast, guys. So it's that time of year again. We got the Arnold Classic coming up. We have two of the top bodybuilders in the world at the table with us. Jordan Hutchison, this man over here, Hunter Labrada, and of course, co-host, my man, Gasp.
I'm not introducing myself.
And Michael Johansson, we call him MJ, CEO, owner of Gasp Better Buddies. So, preface this with saying I think predictions are pretty much worthless. Oh, yeah. All right, because you can look at somebody Thursday before the show and they look terrible. Then they get to the stage and they end up winning.
Yeah, all they're good for these days is for us to look like jackasses when people like poach the sound bites.
I think we've been wrong every single time. So
we have.
But you know, hey, we're like 0 for 6, but we're gonna keep trying. You never know. Odds are on our sides. Eventually, we'll get it right. So
yeah, but I mean, like it's all about also daring to say something, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I think that's what makes it fun. Everybody's got their opinions, their preferences.
Yeah.
And but it's all comes down to when you step on stage, how you look, and who you stand next to.
Yeah.
So now, neither one of you gentlemen have done the Arnold Classic, so. Hope we'll get into that a little bit later.
You hadn't done it, Hunter.
Dude.
So
it's weird at this point, but yeah,
I jump in next year.
I thought this year was going to be the year, man, but then my shoulder decided to leave the chat on me. So,
oh man,
as far
we're
as
gonna have to do it next year.
There's only 2 shows that really put your name in the history books, and I think that's the Olympia, of course, and the second one is the Arnold Classic. So I encourage you, gentlemen, to fit into your plans in the future and get on that stage. It's a lot of fun. Kicking off, we got some of the top guys in the sport. We have a Mr. Olympia there. Former Mr. Olympia, Hadi Choopan. We'll discuss him and his situation, as well as Martin Fitzwater, Andrew Jack, Nick Walker, and all the other ones that are coming up. So
a couple new guys too that I'm really excited to see what they look like for sure.
So
I figured it'd be kind of cool. Go around, kind of give your prediction, and then also like who you're excited to see because there is some new blood in the show for sure.
Definitely.
Well, kick it off. Who do you think of? Who you got? How do you see it?
I'm a betting man. I'm putting money on Andrew. Okay. I think he's going to continue building that momentum from the Olympia. I've obviously been competing with him for years now, so him and I developed a bit of a personal relationship, and it was interesting to see it the Olympia like last year and in the weeks after. I feel like he finally believes it, which makes a big difference in how you work. It makes a big difference in how you diet. I think he finally realized, okay, I'm knocking on the door. So I think this is going to be a big telltale sign for, where Andrew's headed this year. He comes in, presents something crazy and, better than he's ever been. I mean, I think he's in talks about winning the Olympia for sure, rocking off that stage doing that. Outside of Andrew, I'm really good friends with Martin. I'd love to see Martin win the whole damn show. Like I said, if I'm a betting man, I'm betting on Andrew. But if I'm going for who I'd like to see win, I'm definitely going to say I want to see Martin win. He's been one of those guys. We came up together. We competed at 2017 Junior USAs together. It's been a long time in the making for him. And, I'm always one to appreciate a comeback story. He's definitely pulled his head out of his ass, screwed it on real straight, and he's been making some noise these last couple seasons. So excited to see him. Outside of him, you have your usual suspects. I won't get into that. I want to talk about the people that I'm excited to see that we haven't seen on an Arnold stage before, and that is Anthony Williams, the guy that won the amateur last year. He's coached by John Jewett now, and he looks insane.
Crazy
X-frame, no weak body parts. He's coached by John, like I said, so I have a feeling his conditioning is going to be on point. I think he's got a lot of potential to actually make some noise at this year's Arnold, so I'm really excited to see what he looks like.
Well, to your point, I'd love to see Martin win. Yeah. He's my boy.
Too.
I saw him a couple weeks ago in Houston. He looks great.
I just trained legs with him probably 6 or 7 days ago. And
he's on point.
So much bigger than the Olympia already.
And he's in great shape already. So, he's young. He's not even 30 yet. And he's still making progress. He's doing exactly what he needs to do to win that show. Beyond that, we saw Andrew Jack, the best he's ever looked at the Olympia. Yep. If he was a tad bit harder from the rear, he'd be our champ. Can he duplicate that? Or more importantly, can he take that to the next level, and come in super hard? That's a big speculation. If he can do that, he wins. In my opinion, Andrew Jack has probably the best physique in the sport right now. Yep. He just needs the conditioning. If he can get hard, he wins everything and he'll keep it for a while. That being said, he's got to get hard. There's been a lot of guys just back in my generation that they could have done the same thing, but they couldn't get it together. So we'll see if he can pull it off. Hadi, He's been there, done that, won the Arnold before, won the Olympia. I know there's some question, speculation whether he's even going to be able to make it because of the political situation. I hope politics doesn't play a factor in the Arnold. As an athlete, I always wanted the best people there and to step on stage and compete.
Yeah, speaking strictly from an athlete sense on the Hadi situation, I'm not going to get into the politics of it at all, but I am curious to see what that level of stress how it's affected him. If he's able to come in at his all-time best or if it's affected him.
It makes it hard for me to place him because that has to affect your mental and on top of that, the travel difficulties that he's going to have, and then he just got dropped by Evogen. Apparently, that was the news today.
Oh, I hadn't seen that.
I saw that today. He just Evogen let him go.
So I don't know what his relationship is like with Hadi now.
He's got a lot of stress right now. That does play a factor. But that doesn't necessarily mean you won't get your best. Some people overcome that, and when it's fourth quarter and there's 30 seconds on the clock, some people are at their best.
He rarely comes in off.
Yeah,
I've
never really seen him off.
He's always sharp.
Yeah. And he arguably could have won the Olympia a couple more times than he has, because I think pound for pound, he's been the best person in the show a couple times, even with Big Ronnie.
I think this show will be telling for something that I saw at the Olympia. I feel like this last year's Olympia was the first time that I'd kind of seen his legs starting to do the age thing.
Yeah,
I feel like they were a little downsized, so I'm curious to see what they look like at the Arnold.
I know it's the same thing.
There's a little difference in symmetry too. I feel like
age gets everybody, and it's usually your lower body that goes first for guys, lower body and glutes. So we'll see. A lot of unknowns there.
How old is he now?
He's like 38, 39.
Is he
That's
really
when
still in his 30s?
Usually between 38 and 42 is when it gets everybody. I was 41 when it got me.
I was 39.
Beyond that, we got Nick Walker. Guy, I know.
He's 38. I just looked it up.
Hadi?
Yeah, 38. Yeah.
What do you think about Nick?
I mean, Nick's one of my good buddies. Obviously, we're opening up a gym together, so I've been spending a lot of time with him, seeing him in person. I personally think, based on what I've seen and showing people, it's probably going to be the best Nick we've ever seen on stage. As far as Andrew, I can't disagree with Hunter with saying he has the best shape, structure, one of the most impressive physiques on that stage. However, if we're going off of last year, I think he still has gaps in his physique, and I still don't think he comes in hard enough, and I will never place somebody that high unless they come in peeled. Now, talk about Nick. Nick's been really off one time, and that was at the Olympia last year. So if we're going off conditioning, size, does Nick have the prettiest shape? No, I don't think he has a wide waist. I think he's got a crazy back double. I think he's got one of the wildest, most musculars. I think his side chest and side tricep are some of the best in the sport. If he comes in 100%, and from what I'm seeing recently, I think that's going to be the case. I think it's going to be Nick and then either Hadi, Martin, Andrew, and the reason why I say that is because those three are the most similar together. Andrew's the one that sticks out the most that doesn't fit with those four. Andrew's the odd guy out. Now, if Andrew comes in peeled, he could slip ahead, but I see it possibly being Nick, Andrew, Hadi, Martin, Nick, Andrew, Martin, Hadi, but it's hard for me, the way you guys said, I can't place somebody that high that hasn't. Now, I'm not bashing Andrew, and sorry I sound like RFK Jr. I'm very sick. I'm not bashing any of these guys because a lot of these guys are sensitive and can't take criticisms, and they get,
bodybuilders sensitive.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
No.
It's absolutely fucking insane. Who unfollows who because they don't like a predictions. It's absolutely. There's a lot of bodybuilders that aren't real men. I'll say that. But for me, if Andrew can do that, he could potentially win. But that hasn't happened yet. And Nick has brought his best and has won an Arnold and has beat all those guys. So if you're asking me, I think Nick has one of the best chances of doing it. I don't think Nick beat Hadi. I think it's the only one he hasn't beat. I might be wrong. I don't know.
I'm gonna go out on a limb. I think the two guys that are probably gonna be in the top spot is Andrew or Martin. I think if Martin comes at his all-time best, and I saw him, and you just backed up what I saw a couple weeks ago. He's bigger than he's ever been, and his condition is on point. From what I've seen, everything's on track. He's young, and he's still years away from being at his best. He's already proven he can beat damn near everybody in the world.
Yep.
And he's just going to get better because he's a hard trainer. He's dedicated, and he's going to continue to improve. So I expect to see an improved version of him on stage than what we saw back in Vegas, and even in Prague. So
Yeah, that was
That
impressive.
counts-
Him with
yeah.
Samson. I mean,
Yeah.
like that was an incredible. That peak was perfect.
Yeah, my thing that I appreciate about Martin so much right now is it's not like, oh, I'm trying to refine this package or that package a little bit like so many guys get once they're in their pro career. It's like he is making progress every show.
Yeah,
which is
leaps
cool.
and
I talk
bounds.
to Martin on a regular basis. He knows what he needs to do. He knows exactly what he needs to do, and he's got a plan to do it, and he's fucking doing it.
Yeah.
And he's on a mission. And I like the kid, man. He's grown up and matured tremendously as a man.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Not just as a bodybuilder, but as a man and a person. And I respect that. He's a poor country boy just like I was. Come from a podunk town, didn't have shit. There ain't no plan B. And it's either sink or swim, and he's swimming.
Mhm.
So
I really like to see, the little bit of an underdog coming up and taking the top spot. I'm rooting for Martin also, and I had the same, wish for Olympia. So I hope it's happened this time.
it's all like I said. I preface this with predictions are worthless, right?
Yep.
And it ain't got nothing with Martin. I'm gonna admit it is a little personal because I'm rooting for him on a personal basis, and I'm making this prediction because not just because of that, but because of the progress I'm seeing, because his past track record the past couple of years, and I think it's very doable. He could be the last man standing, but he's got to beat. No Arnold Classic is easy.
Yep.
It ain't never easy, and Nick, he's already proven he can do it. Hadi's proven he can do it, and Hadi's been at the top of the mountain, so we know he can come in and beat everybody. So he's got some huge people he's got to beat to get there. Like to your point, Nick has two things going for him. He's fucking huge, and he can get hard.
Yep.
And those judges love that. And that was the same type of thing that was a plus for me.
Yep.
I had a shit ton of muscle, and I could get harder than everybody else.
Yep.
And on any given day, I could beat anybody. And Nick is the same way. And so he's always dangerous.
Yep.
The thing I like to say about Nick is he keeps everybody honest.
Yes.
Because if you're coming off, he'll get you.
Oh, easy.
So,
I just think there's so many wild cards this time because now Nick's coaching himself, right? I mean, he's just going to peak himself through the show.
Yeah.
As far as I know, I'm
yeah.
sure he's got people in his corner.
I've been helping him with keeping an eye on him. We'll say that
he knows what he's doing, and me and Nick talk.
Yeah.
I love Nick, and I would love to see Nick or Martin win. To be honest, because I've connected with them, I've gotten to know them better. I hardly know Andrew, but I will say this. My pro debut was with you and Andrew, and I didn't get in that first call out, but I watched you guys from the side. It was the freakiest thing I've seen in person to that point. And, he's improved every year for sure. And then I competed against him in 24 again. When I saw him at the Olympia, it was just entirely different person because he finally
this year's Olympia was a major step
he
forward.
figured it out. So
do we know how old he is?
I don't think anyone knows how old he is.
30s, I think.
Who, Martin?
No, Andrew.
Oh,
I
Andrew
think
Jack.
he's in
He's
his
38 or
late 30s.
39.
Yeah,
Because he started late.
Yeah. Speaking
But-
about people that have climbed the mountain before, I think we'd be remiss not to talk about Brandon. Especially after
100%.
last year at that Olympia, because last year was 25. The year before, 24, was my last Olympia. And I remember him. He was in the hospital with food poisoning until a couple
that's
hours
right.
before prejudging. Still managed to do well there. And then I feel like this last year, any ground he had lost from that previous year's showing, he had made up and then some. I hadn't seen his legs look that good in a couple years. So
That's impressive at his age.
yeah,
as long as he's
that's
been
what I'm saying.
doing
To
it.
bring up your
I
legs
mean,
at that
dude,
age.
All right, well, just so
he's
you
back
guys
from-
know,
Brandon is back from my generation.
he was born in, it's funny because there's not an exact date, but they say that he was born in 1985, which makes him 40 or 41. And that ain't easy to do a lot of stuff at that age to make
To be
those
that age and to be making improvements,
Yeah.
it's very hard.
I feel like in
retired at
Andrew's
41.
case, though, and I don't know who said it, I feel like he just started really bodybuilding 6 or 7 years
I think
ago.
he was in the military, and and I think he had a different career, and I think he didn't start till his 30s.
Well, the only thing I'll say about that I'll agree on is Sean Roden turned pro natural and didn't start running gear until after he turned pro. And he was the oldest Mr. Olympia at 43. So if Andrew Jack is on that path of state,
He still got
On
some
the
diesel in the
straight.
tank.
he could have some,
Right.
gas in the tank, but there's an if there. 40 or 41, there's not a lot of guys still doing that.
Yeah, I feel like when we say like that 40 or 41, though, it's because most guys that make it to 40 or 41 have been doing it since they were like 18 or 20 years old. They've put that 20 years in on their body.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
You know, I don't think he really started until like 30, 33, something like that.
He's like a vampire. Nobody knows anything about him.
It's once that bodybuilding time clock starts.
Yeah.
You age yourself like 3 years for every 1 year you're doing it.
Yeah.
I remember first time I saw him, I go, who the fuck is that? This dude just showed up, and I was like...
And he's very humble and very nice.
And I went back, talked to him backstage. He's a super nice guy. And I didn't know anything about him. And, you know, he just showed up on the scene and just looked incredible.
He's fucking huge.
Yeah, and a giant. So...
Well, similar story to what you just brought up, and it's because of the name you brought up. I still remember that Europa Sean run back when the Europa still had an open pro show. I was backstage at that show, and I was like, what the fuck is Phil Heath doing back here? You know, because he was so round and bubbly, and then it's like, oh, that's not Phil. Who is that? You know, because I hadn't seen him before, and it was like one of those things. It was cool to see.
He had that X-frame with that bubbly look, like in the tight waist, like, and he wasn't that heavy either. He was one of those guys that won the Olympia didn't have to be that big of a guy.
Well, you know, that's a good point. You know, I think when Dexter won the Olympia, you know, he was probably under 210 when he won the Olympia in 08.
It's crazy.
No shit. That light?
Yeah, that's right, Dexter. I told your secret.
Dexter's gonna go, man, that's bullshit. I wasn't no fucking 210.
I asked him, I said, what you weigh, man? He goes, man, I'll tell you, but if you tell me, I'm a lie. And I said, what you weigh? And I think he was under 210. And I go, that's what I thought, because, you know, backstage sat next to him.
Imagine seeing that physique in 212.
Yeah, right.
Well, he beat 12. He beat all of us.
I'm saying.
Yeah,
he's like, I just beat every one of you, motherfuckers.
Now he went on to get even bigger and, you know, whatever. But you know, he to my point, it's not about being the biggest, it's about being the best.
Look at Tony O'Burton. He's like 218 at the last Olympia.
Yeah,
crazy.
He reminds me of Silvio Samuel.
You guys talk about the top four quite a lot. So who do you think can you know, or who can make a surprise and a dent into the top four?
I really
that
think
can
it's
surprise
gonna
you
be
guys?
Mo Foda.
I think that top four is pretty locked, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think that 5 spot, there's like 3 different people that could
Big
be
question
in
mark.
It. You know, Brandon, Mo.
You think Curry can muscle his way into the 5th spot?
I think so.
I do.
If I had to put him somewhere, I would put him in 5. I think he's going to beat Mo. I think he's going to beat Anthony.
I think
because those are the only two. Those are the other 2 guys that I could see being in that
Curry
spot.
is amazing. He's like a Dexter. He's from my generation. I've been retired 10 years next month.
He turned pro the year I was there. I think in 07. I watched him. I think he turned pro in 07.
He's getting close to 20 years.
That's crazy.
Pro.
Yeah.
And
I remember watching Brandon from the stands when I was in my teens.
I mean, I competed against him I don't know how many times back in my day, you know, and he's still up there banging with the young bucks. So that's impressive.
Y'all seen his son?
Mm-hmm.
Crazy football player.
His son is a baller.
He's
like
insane.
Sophomore with a ton of Division I offers already.
Crazy.
It's wild.
And Brandon's a great guy.
Yeah.
So
he's awesome.
I wish him all
The year he won, I was actually sitting literally right behind his wife and all of his family, and it was the coolest thing to see. They went nuts. It was so cool to see.
Yeah, that's cool.
He's a great dude.
I agree with you. I think Brandon can get in that 5th spot, you know, and I think, you know, if one of those top 4 guys is off, he might jump up there and surprise us.
And he doesn't seem to be pulling back. We were talking about this earlier. I think he's improved his quads a little bit. So, like, that's what you guys were talking about at that age. Like, a lot of the time, the quads kind of fall off a little bit, but it's not for him.
At the Olympia, I haven't seen age affect him yet. You know, usually some guys get in their 40s, you know, you start seeing age take effect, right?
He loses that pop.
Yeah, you lose some fullness, especially your quads, you know, you lose some of the fullness, and it just starts to happen.
Yeah.
And it happened to me in my last show, and I knew. I'm like, this is it. I'm done.
We had breakfast. You said it. We were having breakfast at the Arnold. You're like, I'm done. I'm like, what do you mean? You're like, this was my last one. I was like, really? Like, yeah, that's it. I'm done. I was like,
I'll tell you something, man.
You've always told me this, man. It's like when you know, you'll know.
I asked Ronnie, and I said, how do you know when to know? Say when. He goes, you'll know. And he was right. I knew. Going into that show, I did not know it was going to be my last show. It was the Arnold Classic 2016, and I got second year before, done well at the Olympia, you know, top 400 or 500 was, and I go to that show and stuff just wouldn't happen. And I'm looking at myself and I'm like, what? It just wasn't right.
And then you get frustrated.
You look, and the thing is, you look in the gym, you still look impressive as hell. But you know, we know
it's not the same response.
Hair. Yeah. It's not the same. You're looking at yourself and like, man, something's off. And I went on stage, and I always said, if any of the young guys start beating me, I'm out. A couple of young guys got past me, and I got fifth. And, Pat got fifth in Arnold. I was always at the fight for the win. And I went to the room. I told Trish, like, I'm done. And next morning, I remember I had breakfast with you, and I was like, I'm done, bro.
I'm a little bit curious on how you see after Brandon. Well, what's the, because that's the hard part to know. The 5, 6, 7 there.
I think that 5, 6, 7 spot is going to be Brandon, Mo, and Anthony.
Yeah.
And the order can
Mo
switch
has made
around
a
depending
lot
on how
of
they peak, but I
progress.
think that'll be
Is Tonio
the
doing it,
next
Bird?
three.
He's
No.
not. He's
No,
not.
right.
He's not.
Akeem's doing it, and he's always a wild horse, man. Or
I
wild
think
card.
Akeem looked fucking phenomenal at the Olympia.
His physique will change so much throughout like a prejudging or a finals.
Yep.
It's wild to see how much it'll change just even in 30 minutes.
And he might have one of the best side chests. He's so fucking thick up top.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Akeem has got a ton of muscle. If that dude could ever come in peeled.
Well, it's not his back double because he's got those high lats. Like
Yeah.
he's
They come up
like
really
his lower
high.
back is like this.
So did
this long.
Dennis Wolf.
Yeah.
And look, he won the Arnold.
Yeah.
They top fucking 3 at the Olympia. So if he's got so much muscle, if he could come in hard, yeah, he's gonna have a hard time beating someone with a great double back, like a Martin or a Derek or somebody like that. But he could do some damage.
Yeah.
So for
I
sure.
agree.
So beyond that, you thinking? Call it 6, 7, 8.
6, 7, 8. If we're calling Brandon 5,
5.
I'm going to call Anthony 6. I'm going to call Mo 7. And I'm going to call Akeem 8. But I will say that if
What
Akeem...
about Rafa?
Huh?
Where's Rafa fall into this?
Shit.
We're forgetting Rafael
Yeah.
Brandeo.
We are.
So I
His last
saw
Olympia,
his
he was what,
updates.
10th, right?
No, he was top. What
10.
was he like?
10.
7th
He was
or
one
8th,
spot
I
after
thought?
me. He was 7.
Who was 7th? Oh,
Yeah,
for
so
some
he
reason I thought he was
places
10th.
well.
Oh,
his last
I'm gonna say
Olympia.
Rafa could push his fight for 5th.
It's just I
6th.
saw
Yeah.
his last update 2 weeks out. He did not look.
on
In
on
great shape.
He's either going to have
on
a
IG?
really, really, really rough 2 weeks, or he's not going to be in shape, in my opinion,
Yeah.
from what I've seen.
100% agreed. So like he's a big wild. There's a lot of wild cards. Like so, but Rafael could.
Is he still with the CEDO?
I believe he is. Yeah, I think he is. No,
I think
Neil Hill.
no.
Neil Hill.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
He's with
Yeah.
Neil.
Yeah, that's right.
I think Rafa, like I said, I think he potentially be 5th.
He could be. He's great from the front. He just same thing
the rear,
from
yeah.
the back. I mean,
Yeah, you gotta from the
Same
rear.
issues
I
I
said
have.
it 1,000 times. Those big shows are one from the rear.
Yep.
Everybody looks good from the front, and you turn to the rear, then it's
I don't see Rafa being able to stand with Brandon's back shut.
and I honestly
Brandon's back double is fucking good.
think
I
the
agree.
kind of progress
agree.
Mo's made to his back, I don't think Rafael can. And
I saw a
looks
picture of
good
Mo
in
today.
his
It looked like he
updates.
just like hit him with the enlarged, like
I know.
filter.
clicked and
He's
dragged
with,
out kind of deal.
Patrick
I saw those
Shores
pictures.
coaching him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he looks like he's made a lot of progress, and I feel like he would beat Rafael from the back all day. So I don't know. I would say Brandon, then Mo, then Anthony, then Rafael probably. That's what I would pick.
The thing with Mo, and like I don't know if you've seen him in person before.
I have. I've competed with him.
Okay,
twice.
you have. Okay, Mo's a little guy
Yeah, he's
with a lot of muscle.
with a
but
lot of
he's
muscle.
really
but
bubbly,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
super round and full.
I just don't know how well he'll stand next to Anthony or Rafa because both those guys. Rafa's almost 6 foot.
That's
Anthony's
true.
6'1",
That is true.
and they're put together.
It's Instagram.
That being said, Mo's conditioning. It's Instagram shit.
It's
right?
when you see
Yeah.
people by themselves. People see me by myself, and then they see me in person. They're like, "Oh, you're way bigger than I thought."
Yeah.
So I tend to forget that with some of these guys.
that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's.
People see
I'd
me on
rather.
Instagram and I see him in person.
You and I
You're way
both-
shorter than I thought. I'm like,
You and I both get that a lot.
Yeah.
People go, "Wow, you're taller than I thought."
It's like, yeah, the 300 doesn't translate through
You?
Instagram.
Yeah,
Thank
no,
God
it
it does in
doesn't.
real life.
fucking taller than I thought.
Yeah, when you wear your boots now.
Bro. Fucking, I was 5'8". I was
5'8".
I was in what's the name of this place?
So we went to Cavender's today. So my boy here, he came to America, aka Texas, and I always take him riding with me. So he's always wearing my boots and all my stuff. So he's like, dude, I'm gonna get a set of boots, nice pair to ride in, blah blah. I said, all right. So we go to Cavender's. And I picked out some nice ones, like some alligator,
Black alligator.
Casey. And so he got those. He put them on. It's like, they fit like a glove. I'm like, that's perfect. So he got those. Got him a good pair of cowboy boots to ride in. Got the spurred ledge, high tops on them and everything.
Some cinched jeans, baby.
Got some cinched jeans. And
Some
He's
boot
ready.
socks.
He's ready.
Don't fuck with me, boy.
he's good. I said, next time we get your cowboy hat.
I was gonna say take him to Kemosabe next.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if a cowboy hat, I can put it on without my ears hitting it because they're so fucking big. I gotta figure it out.
Guy has always been talking about moving here, but it never happens. I guess he need to settle with a hat and the boots.
Pay down the interest rate on the house I pick. I'll come.
Need to see like an arm day at your gym and your cowboy hats
Too
and
many
cowboy boots.
excuses.
Yeah, right.
Talk to the fucking Fed chairman, fucking asshole.
I want to. You can say no. Do you remember the conversation we had at Saltgrass last night about 90s, like the older bodybuilders versus the newer bodybuilders? And
This debate.
Here we go.
Are you starting a pot?
I want to.
Yeah.
I actually want to.
Guys
I
over
go with
here,
the young
there's-
cats over here.
a podcast is not good without a good
See,
debate.
if everybody was drinking a whiskey, then it would be real good.
Start fucking throwing bows. Or do you want to stay away from that?
Hell, start a pot, baby. Fucking do it.
Well, you start. Go ahead. Tell him what you said.
Okay, so this is my thing.
And I'll tell you this. He's going to say it. I'm going to agree 100% with everything he says.
You guys, obviously, it's open debate, right? So the guys from the 80s learn from the guys from the 70s. Guys from the 90s learn from them. My generation, we learned from the guys in the 90s, right?
Mhm.
I mean, I trained with Ronnie from 92 to like 96. And then trained at the same gym, and I learned from those guys,
Mhm.
right? And I feel that the new generation, they didn't really learn from us. They learned more from social media, and they learned from some of the coaches and stuff. I mean, everybody gives us respect, just like I give respect to all the guys that came before me. If it wasn't for them, wouldn't get to do what I did. I don't think this current generation really learned from the previous generation. And I say that because they do everything very, very different from how we did it.
Mhm.
From the nutrition to the training to supplements, everything. How do you feel?
I don't get it. I'll never understand the 1-2 sets, the fucking going super slow, not going heavy, afraid to barbell squat, afraid to deadlift. I think it's a fucking joke. It blows my mind. No matter how big those guys are, to me, you're not training hard if you're fucking not doing certain core lifts at some point of your career. Like, I think that's what's needed. I don't think we see a lot of hard, grainy, gnarly guys the way we saw Branch. We had the conversation, and you said, "What did you say?" You're like, "What in your generation, top 10 would arguably beat every guy at the Olympia." That is one.
That's based on conditioning.
And I looked at you and I said,
Now,
"I agree."
The guys are heavier, they're bigger, but
Are they better?
They're not there.
I think there's like two things going on. I think 100% like there was a different intensity in training in your era. I mean, that's obvious. Overall.
But why? Do the more guys now like you're, and I'm not saying you, but guys your age, like it's just I don't see it there.
I think there has been more of a focus on size, and I think that has been a result of how the judging has gone in the past. Would you agree, Hunter? Like they're rewarding.
I think they've
size
kind of
more
like
and more.
overcorrected twice now.
Yeah.
I think they went down the line of we just want y'all huge, and then when we kind of overcorrected that way and everyone's midsection started getting out of
Yep.
control, they overcorrected that way, and then I feel like we're kind of starting to come back to center now.
Yeah.
I agree.
With
So,
a balance between the conditioning and the size.
Yeah, but think about it. Like the bigger you've gotten, it's harder to get things like super striated, grainy. Certain muscle groups just don't have quite the same.
Ronnie
You
Coleman was
still have
300 pounds
detail.
strided.
But like
Jay Cutler.
Ronnie Coleman, 300 pounds strided.
I
fucking
think
from head to
something
toe.
that we're seeing and talking about this right now
Dorian
is
Yates.
I think that all of the guys that we talked about went a lot slower.
yeah, that's true.
Like in
I
terms
agree
of
with
how
that.
long it took them
It
to do
took
it.
Ronnie 20 years to put 100 pounds of muscle on.
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
I
Yeah,
agree with
100%.
that.
And,
You know, I think-
I said that last night.
Yeah.
I go, the difference is in our generation, I started as a teenager. I gained probably 80 pounds of muscle during my career. And it took me fucking 15, 16 years, 17 years to gain that weight. It took Ronnie probably damn near as long to gain 100 pounds. And most of the other guys were the same way. And it's a different era. And I think when you put that much mass on that quick, it's not going to be the
You
same.
got to
look.
hold it.
Yeah.
You got to hold it. It
Yeah.
takes a while for it to mature, and it's not going to look the same.
I
That's my
completely
opinion.
agree.
I agree.
I completely agree. I think also something, and this is kind of like, I don't know if you want to call it like the social media thing from like the 90s and stuff. I feel like the photography, the fact that it was actually on film, the stage lighting was a lot better, and there wasn't social media that existed. All the photos you saw of bodybuilding were professionally done photos in magazines, and they weren't running pictures of you if you were fucking out of shape.
Yeah.
Because everyone talks about how everyone was so conditioned in the 90s, and they absolutely were, but they missed a lot too.
Oh, I mean, everybody,
all those guys. Like, I'm not talking like they missed their peak. Like, they looked like they were 3 weeks out on stage.
Yeah,
but also to your point about the graininess of the cameras in the 90s, you have to admit, when you watch these older videos, it looks like you ever turned structure all the way up on a video, like on your phone or something. It like the contrast is so much in the 90s, not in the 2000s as much. Obviously, we're talking 90s. But like, I don't think
Branch was there in person.
I was in person. I saw Dorian Yates compete.
I know Dorian was.
And I saw Kevin, Nasser, Sean Ray, Flex.
Now, what about like Flex Wheeler and
the leanest bodybuilder I ever saw in my life?
Munzer
was Flex. Munzer was he was a whole nother level. he got so fucking damn. He got so damn lean. He died. Was. And that sucked. But Flex Wheeler when he won the Arnold one year. I mean, it was an anatomy chart.
Yeah.
And he had, and the pictures didn't do him justice because in person, this motherfucker was inhuman hard.
Huh.
I mean, that was probably as close to perfection as I'd ever seen at that point, because not that he was overly massive, but everything flowed and was full, and he had no body fat. He was dry. And I was sitting there looking at him like, shit, that don't even look human. And in the pictures, like from the back door bicep, his glutes kind of looked a little soft, hamstring looked a little soft, but in person,
peeled.
It was fucking peeled. The only person I ever saw
hams were still peeled in
fucking
person?
Peeled.
Really?
And the only person,
that's something I notice sometimes with some of the 90s guys comparing to today is like it's more common almost to see glutes and
a lot of them back then didn't pose the same either. They didn't flex their glutes the way we do now.
And I'm going to use Dorian Yates, for example. You see pictures of him, right? And you're like, how did this dude beat these guys? When I went and saw him in person, when he walked out and they stood came out in the lineup and Dorian walked out and turned, I'm like, fuck, this is over. I mean, he blew everybody away, and these dudes were hard. Dorian was a whole nother level of hard. And I mean, it was freaky how hard he was. But in the pictures, it didn't translate sometimes. You looked at guys like Kevin, you're like, how the hell did he beat him?
Yeah.
But in person, it was a knockout. And Kevin's another one. Kevin came in peeled, very hard as shit. And you had guys like Andreas Munster that didn't even make the top 6.
Yeah.
They were fucking shredded. I mean, any of the small shows, he'd win. The 2000s, we came on and we learned from those guys, and you're like, you go and you see this and you're like, that's what it takes to fucking win. So that's what we had to do. And we learned from them. I think today there's been, because of social media, it's so much, you don't need to fucking train like that. You don't need to fucking train, you bleed and this and that. Well, it's a pride thing with me. I ain't gonna let nobody fucking outwork me. And I learned that from the greatest one of all time, because Ronnie wasn't gonna let nobody beat him in the gym. And he knew if he could beat everybody in the gym, he could beat them on the stage. And he did. I had the same philosophy. And I trained a lot of the other guys that had the same philosophy. And so where the fuck did hard work become a bad thing? I think it still matters.
Yeah.
And plus I like to train. I mean, I've trained till I fucking had nosebleeds. I've trained till I fucking ripped all the fucking skin off my hands deadlifting. I've trained till my fucking shins bled from deadlifting, and because I wanted it. I wanted to win. And I didn't want to lose because some motherfucker outworked me. And I took what God gave me and I made the most of it, and I beat dudes that were way better than me because of a work ethic.
Yeah.
Not because of some fucking drug or some fucking newfangled training program, because I willed myself to fucking beat them. That's what it comes down to. And that's just my rule.
No, I was just going to ask you this, because I've definitely, I've done this long enough now and, tried a couple different approaches to the point. And, it's like, I feel like anyone that is a good bodybuilder has arrived at the point where they can out-train their body. I don't know if that's the best way to say it or not. Like, I don't want to use the word overtraining because I fucking hate that word, but like out-train their body to where it's like, if I just keep my foot down on the gas, my physique looks like worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. But if I, like ease up a little bit, not ease up in the gym, but, a little more food, a little less cardio, like start twisting knobs like that, it's like, and like, as we get deep into prep, peeling the volume back a little bit, my physique will look better for that. And it's always been something I've wrestled with in my head because, it's like I grew up an athlete and it's the harder you work, the better you do.
Yeah.
Do you feel like there is some line in the sand to where the hard work is detrimental?
It could, yeah, absolutely.
I think pre-contest,
And
yes.
see, that's the point that I was getting at.
So
Is I feel like so many people have. It's not like a line in the sand anymore to them. It's like a fucking concrete wall that they're scared they're gonna hit.
This is my thing. There is a line, right? There's a line where you can fucking do too much, you get hurt, whatever. But I don't think very few people ever get to that fucking line. Your body's capable of doing way more than you think it is. And as long as you're getting enough sleep, enough food, proper recovery, you can push yourself way harder than you think you can and still grow and get better.
Yep.
And I think very few people in my experience have gotten there. It's been my experience in 30-something years of bodybuilding. Everybody thinks they train hard. I talked to one professional bodybuilder or amateur bodybuilder. You asked them if they train hard. They said, yeah. My experience, less than 1 out of 10 actually do.
Yeah.
And I'm talking pushing yourself to fucking failure. Get everything you can out of every set, every day you go to the gym. And that's a hard thing to do. Mentally, it's fucking hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like an important part is also, kind of like the athlete intelligence when you're doing it. Because I think I have the same philosophy as you, Branch, but I also feel like there is a tendency that you have to be smart, like when you do it. Like, and I feel like it's a common denominator. If you look at the ones that did it, like talking about Dorian, he has his head screwed on for anything in life, So there is a basic intelligence that is needed because you can't be stupid and train hard to the ground. You're gonna bury yourself.
100%.
So you have to have some kind of basic awareness about what's going on when you're pushing yourself to the max.
Yeah,
I learned you can't just lose yourself and be like get tunnel vision and just train harder and be stupid.
Yeah, I thought I trained hard coming up. And then when I became friends with Branch, we started training together. I was like, oh.
You have to stretch people's minds.
Yeah.
Because like you said, everyone thinks they're training hard till you expose them to a new stimulus. And they're like, oh, okay, this is the new bar. And, over the years, that bar gets raised.
Yeah.
And
I think...
And it's not only the training. It's like, stuff that you went hunting, after the show or something, like you took time off. Like all of that, smart stuff that is just also outside that can make you come back and train hard.
But to your point, I think that's going to lead into the next segment here is, when I was done with the show, I got away from the gym for a couple weeks. I took 4 or 5 weeks off before, to let myself recover, heal, and mentally, and most importantly, just get a mental break sometimes. If you need it, I'd stay out until I was ready to go back, and, I did other things too. I went hunting because,
And you also had other businesses.
Correct. And so, I'd go hunt because I don't be around nobody. I go for a week, be around nobody, have talked to nobody, and just relax. And usually by the end of that week, I was like, all right, I'm ready to go back and train.
Yeah.
So how smart it is it to train hard and then, just play video games and not take care of your business? And you see what I mean?
Welcome to 70% of the bodybuilders out there.
That's what I mean. That's why it doesn't help to just train hard, because that's not the whole equation,
No, you got to train hard and be smart about it. I mean, I 100% agree with that. You just can't blindly go fucking be a maniac.
Yeah, and then waste your life on.
I'm gonna give I've been thinking about this since we started talking about it. I think the biggest thing that we have right now, and the reason that we have these arguments every time we have this podcast, I think, it's Guy, right? Guy, get out of here.
It's Guy's fault.
Podcast to be half as short. No, I think.
Is that a short joke?
Guys,
yeah.
No, but you just made one. Thank you.
You got the boots now.
Yeah.
5'8".
Yeah.
So I think it's one of those things that, because of people's access to information these days, in conjunction with the fact that anyone who's good at what we do in this sport feels like the need to put out incessant content.
Yep.
I feel like people see everything that we're doing and there's no context to it.
Exactly.
Because I don't every person at this table. You go back 5 years ago, Branch. How was I training legs 5 years ago?
Hard.
I had fucking 12 plates aside on a hack squat, and I was doing it until I compute. I eventually got to the point where I was pinging quads or tweaking a knee or something every 3 or 4 sessions and backing off slightly over the period of time. I was going to be farther ahead. I did that though, Nick.
Yeah.
everyone wants to bag on how Nick trains now. Well, 5-6 years ago, Nick was fucking shoulder pressing 200-pound dumbbells and squatting like 7 plates.
I think
Nick's one of the freakiest in the gym bodybuilders I've ever seen.
He's the strongest, most controlled bodybuilder
went there,
I've
though,
ever seen.
saw what it did for his physique, and then tried something else, and okay, this works better for me. People take things out of context, or they think because it works for this person that's the way to do it, and they don't need to do anything.
No, that's very.
I agree.
What you said, I agree with 100%. You got to find out what works for you and do that. And I'm gonna say something here, guys. I have my opinion, but I hate banging on everybody because we got criticized too. Becoming every generation does, or something. And my point is this: you guys, it's your sport now. We did what we did. We took it in the direction we want to take it in collectively. Now it's y'all's. Y'all take it in the direction y'all want to take it in collectively, and go for it and have fun. It's yours. So go reach your dreams and have fun, bro. And I've been a fan of your ass since you competed in my show.
Dude, I wasn't gonna dime you out like this, but your last Arnold was my first bodybuilding show ever, and it didn't really click in my head at the time because I just was like, oh, it's Brand, she's fucking huge. But now it really clicked. No, he was like probably like 3 months post Arnold, then about to get ready for. Did you do the Olympia that year?
I was 3 months. I had just retired. I've been retired for 3 months.
Okay, yeah.
And, when you did
looking like fucking Kingpin in his gray pinstripe suit. Yeah.
What year was that?
2016.
10 years ago, dude.
16. Yeah. That's crazy.
You guys better enjoy it, man, because you're gonna blink and it's gonna be fucking.
I know. It's already flying by right now.
The same year we got together.
10 years.
Like with Gasp.
Yeah, we started 2016.
Enjoy it, bro.
So
I hope I got 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah, so we've been hanging out for 10 years now.
We have been.
Yeah. I saw the picture the other day with you,
I sent it to you for the very first agreement we ever had. Yeah,
that was we looked so young.
I met Hunter in Dallas at the show when you were working the booth for Labrada. You were right next to me.
Yep. Yeah. One of the Europas.
I met Hunter when he was like
a baby.
This big. Yeah, like literally. So, yep.
Yeah, when I got the picture, I was like, I got a little bit teary-eyed.
Wow, he had so much hair.
Yeah.
So full of life. What happened to him?
I'm trying to be emotional here. To be serious. Like it felt a little bit like, shit, this is family, because over these 10 years, we had ups and downs, and it felt like like a real family thing,
Absolutely.
And now looking back on everything that happened, it's just been feeling like strengthen us, the bonds, and creating more of the family feeling. Labrada is the family. Everything is coming together in.
Like we said before, we started this. I was sitting down there. I've been with one supplement company my whole career and one clothing company my whole career. And I don't think there are many people out there that can say that in our sport.
I've been with Gasp for 12 years.
Yeah.
I think I might be the longest tenured active guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Sean longer than me?
You're longer.
Yeah.
You're
okay.
longer.
It's impressive, man. Yeah. You may say, like he was talking about, and I'm not trying to redirect this back around, but
hold on, because here it comes.
Who I learned from training wise, like watching, was you two.
Really?
Literally. I mean, I was at the YMCA.
Well, you were 50% on track.
Yeah. No, I remember I was watching you guys train and I was copying what you were doing. You were wearing those high top Under Armour shoes.
Those are the fucking gayest shoes I've ever seen.
Right. Let me tell you something. As gay as they were.
You started a trend with them, I'm sure.
I got more compliments.
Him and Sean, man.
You get them compliments.
Running around in
hold on.
this thing.
Who's giving you the compliments?
Hold on. Oh, fans.
Yeah.
You know how many people
OnlyFans?
in my DMs were asking me where to get. I've never got more compliments on fucking shoes in my entire life than, swear to God.
Okay.
If Sean was alive, I'd call him right now. I got more. You know how many of those pairs after I retired I sold to people?
2.
No, all of them. All of them. Sold every pair.
3.
I had like 15 pairs. They were the fucking. Do you want to know why? You want to know why they were my favorite shoes?
They had a
Because
really
Gasp
thick
I have a
pants.
very inappropriate comment to make, but I won't say it.
The Gasp pants were so
The Gasp
long.
pants were so long, I would step on them, so I had to have something that they fell in the back of.
I wore combat boots.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
There was nothing to catch the back of the pants.
Yeah.
What do you mean you wear combat boots?
Yeah.
I got cowboy boots on right now.
I
not
can't
in the
remember
gym.
the last time I seen you in the gym not in combat boots.
You know what this fucker says a few years back? I come in, I got some Air Jordans on. He goes,
Yeah.
About
he goes,
fucking
"Bro,"
time.
He goes, all these years, you finally got some cool shoes.
You know what he said? There's been times I remember rocking Jordan. He's like, man, I like those. I was like, look at you all grown up.
Whatever, man.
I felt the opposite.
I don't know if you can
I
call,
felt like
I don't know if you can call wearing Jordans being grown up, but
No.
they're cool shoes.
We usually grow past that.
I was for
All right,
me.
New Balance.
For me, it was a sad day when he showed up in the Jordans.
You're upset?
Yeah, no, I felt like this is wrong. You know,
He
this
said
is
it too.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is too.
That's
wrong.
Regan rubbing off on you.
This is wrong.
Yeah, who wears Jordans?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just telling Hunter how I have those same shoes. They don't fit my wide feet
Is that them
anymore.
flop-eared things you had on?
No, these are fucking J's, bro.
Put your,
Those
put
are
your,
the
put your
lost
boots
and
on
found
instead.
Jews.
Can't
I
wear
like
boots with
those.
these fucking sweatpants.
Nah, man, I like Jordans, man. But they just hurt my feet.
Yeah.
So
They
that's
don't
what I
really
think.
bother mine.
So kind of alluding to what you said earlier, you know, like I used to go hunt or whatever I still do, you know, after a show. What do you do besides, I know the answer to it, but I'm going to ask this so everybody watching can too. Besides bodybuilding, what do you do for fun?
I shoot. No, so growing up, man, I was a little bit of a crash test dummy. Grew up on four-wheelers, dirt bikes, riding horses, wakeboarded, snowboarded, skateboarded, played a lot of hockey, was all state in football. So, you know, grew up really athletic. And I'm not going to lie, one of the biggest, irksome things about doing this is, how much I have to be cognizant of my body. You know, because it's one thing if you're an athlete doing something else, but at this point, I'm not an athlete for anything else besides bodybuilding.
Yeah.
You know, if I sprinted, I'd probably tear both my hamstrings, all that stuff. So, you know, shooting is the one thing that I found that, you know, it still does require some degree of athleticism. There's a ton of competition to it. And then it very much so checks the box of I cannot think about anything else while I'm doing it. You're going to laugh at me, but that's why I actually have adult coloring books at my house for the same reason. Anything that I can truly shut my brain off and that is all I'm focusing on, I really like that.
And he says shooting. He's not standing there going bang, bang. He's shooting competitions where you're moving, shooting, hitting targets,
Running.
running to the next station, reloading and moving.
Pistols to carbines,
Yeah,
whole
so-
9 yards.
I remember when we did that together in Houston.
Yeah.
When we went to well, let's do more of that.
I was going to say, we need to get an Iron World Tour. We need to do Houston. We need to do my gym. We need to do Michelin Star Barbecue. And we need to do the shooting range.
Yeah.
What about me? What?
What'd you do to chill besides bodybuilding?
When I was a bodybuilder,
Yell at people.
I still did all the stuff that I.
Buy weird shoes?
Yeah, that was pre-contest.
Mowed his lawn and butchered animals.
I still did. I didn't not do any of the stuff I wanted to do because I always told myself I wasn't going to do the stuff that I enjoyed doing because I was bodybuilding.
Really?
Yeah, I still went snowboarding a bunch of times. I'm not saying it's smart, but I was I love bodybuilding.
Let me ask you this: was snowboarding fun at that size, though?
I didn't do I wasn't doing rainbow rails and fucking pipes and gaps.
I love.
I used to do that.
Snowboarding,
Not
and
anymore.
what got me off of snowboarding wasn't oh my god, I don't want to hurt myself, because it was before I went pro that I stopped snowboarding. It was, this is more work than fun.
Yeah.
You know, 250, having to pull off every 200 yards because my quads are on fire, and it's got to the point where it's I'm too big for this shit.
When the first time I went after 5-year hiatus, when I was this was when I was 30 years old. Actually, I went for the first time. I hadn't gone in a couple of years, and both my quads locked up after a couple of runs, just complete cramped. But no, I don't have a big house, but I have 2.5 acres. I'm always outside cutting trees down, chopping wood, mowing the grass, gardening. I just like hunting. I got a stream by my house I fish at. I like being outside and doing that shit. So that, and for me,
Your backyard's one of my favorites.
when you said you can check out and zone out, when I go outside, this isn't on me. This is my biggest Achilles heel. Because when I'm not doing shit and I'm running around, this is always on me and it's always going off. But when I go outside, I go outside and I don't look at the fucking phone. And I'll be outside for 5 hours and I don't care who calls me, who texts me. When I'm outside doing my thing, I just want to be left the fuck alone in silence with my dogs and whatever I'm doing outside. And that was my peace.
Yeah.
That's what gave me peace.
When a plane dropped me off and I was 120 miles from this road in Alaska, your phone don't work. That was awesome. You can hear a sound. And I was like, no phone, no computer. It was fucking heaven.
Then you pulled out the Starlink.
Yeah, that's the biggest mistake I did. They come out with Starlink and I took it and I'm like, why did I do this? What the fuck was I
Get
thinking?
connected everywhere.
Replace the sat phone.
What did the guide say? He called his daughter. And he's like, "Don't you dare tell your fucking mother that."
I'm on the phone. I'm in Alaska. We're on a hunt, and we're literally like 120 miles from the closest road. And I'm talking, and he goes, "Are you on your phone?" I go, he goes, "How the hell do you get service?" I go, "I got Starlink." He goes, "What's that?" And I explain it to him. I go, "Bro, let me see your phone." I hooked his phone up to it. I go, "Bro, you can talk, text, email. What are you gonna do?" He's like, "Are you serious?" I go, "Yeah." He calls his daughter, and I'm listening. He's over talking. He goes, "Hey, baby, what's up?" And he's got it on speaker, and he's like, "Dad," he goes, "where you at?" He goes, "I'm out here on the bush hunting." And he goes, "How are you calling me?" He goes, "Man, this guy's got this gadget, man." And he hooked my phone up. And he goes, "Whatever you do, don't tell your mother." So that probably one of the smarter things I did in my life was get that thing at Starlink. So Jordan, man, same question to you.
Well, this is something I'm trying to work on, not being so consumed by all things bodybuilding, because it's not just bodybuilding, but it's like something that we have to deal with these days is the social media part of things. It's like, and if I don't want to do it, I got to pay somebody to do it. And if I pay somebody to do it, they don't do as good of a job as me. If you want a job done well, do it yourself. So I'm trying to clear up more time. I still coach quite a bit of clients. I have, companies I work with, obviously Gasp and Better Bodies. And, I try to be as involved as possible with everybody I have, but I try to branch out. I need a specific hobby. I know I need it. Mm-hmm. Thought about trying to get back to guitar with my fat fingers, but lately I try to free up as much time as I can for my wife, chilling with our animals, doing whatever random stuff we decide to do together. Honestly, all my spare time I spend with Brittany. Yeah. We love to go to church together. And something I spend a lot of time on is developing my faith and being in the Bible and developing that aspect spiritually in my life. So I do need a hobby though. I'll go shooting every once in a while. Now that I'm in Texas, just bought me a new Cig.
Don't drop it.
Yeah, well, no, not a 320, not a P320. It's a 365.
Okay. You dropped
macro.
it already?
No, the 320s, man, has
are
been
a little glitchy.
Not dropped safe.
So you got a 365?
A 365 macro.
And you can shoot it with your big old pulse?
It's a macro.
Branch.
So it's way bigger.
I have the same gun for my concealed carry. It fits your hand better than a Glock 19, and it's still 17.1, and it's smaller than a Glock 19.
It's the perfect size for a carry.
Yeah.
Because I had a 19, and I was like, I don't want to carry this thing around every day because it's so fat and heavy.
So I carry a Glock 32, which is the same as a Glock 19. It's just a 357 Sig.
Well, see, we have a 43X is what Brittany has.
Yeah, I have the
I loved carrying that one, but I bought it for her. And so I always wanted a 365 macro, and I got that one. It's a comp one too. It's really nice.
I have the subcompact 43 Glock, and I hate shooting it, but that's what I carry. But I have a, MK too, like the 9, but that's just too big to carry.
The full size 20.
MJ, what did you do when you were bodybuilding back in your days? Besides work at haunted fucking hospitals.
Yeah. No, but I remember when I was in kind of like your age, maybe a little bit younger, and I felt like I really need to have a hobby. I need to have something to put my mind to. Mm-hmm. So it's an important thing.
It's a matter of clearing up time to find a hobby for me.
Yeah, lately. But I think it's also, as we get a little bit older, we realize the importance of putting stuff in that helps us to not have the same thoughts just going around all the time and the same focus. So it's an important part for personal development, and I love that to happen. Nowadays, my thing, where I can't really think about anything else is the motocross that I have as a hobby. That is super important for me because when, let's say, business is going good and life is good, business going bad and everything is bad. But if you have a thing that is going good, like the motocross, then you it's not as bad as you otherwise would feel.
Got something positive.
Exactly, and it's super important to have a couple of things that goes good when certain stuff goes bad, because otherwise it's very easy to just see the dark in life. And I feel like seeing the bigger picture and living life to the fullest is kind of like what's important for me to talk about and preach about and make athletes and myself and everybody around me to think about the importance of having more stuff in life.
Yeah.
And taking care of business.
Well, I'd still rather I'd still rather be business minded and not have as much time than, like you said earlier, go home and play video games after the gym.
Exactly.
I'll never understand that.
I like to be productive on something that's gonna be productive in my life, and I have a problem separating from that.
Yeah. So,
to have something that's just a hobby.
But I have one of every time when I had an insane amount of pressure on me, then what happens is I put another stuff on top of that, and that forces me to develop as a person. So I think what you're talking about is like how you take care of that business, and then you put just more on top of it, to take care of business. That is actually something that is good. And I think people like Branch, who's kind of like a little bit ahead of you guys, like that's how you create a professional life, and then you become professional in bodybuilding. So not be afraid of that professional in life, because that helps you to be a professional bodybuilder. The professional bodybuilder can never make you be professional in other stuff. It's just, usually it's a trap, So I think focusing on the business, taking care of life, and that will make us more professional in everything.
Guy, what's the best advice you can give to some of the young up-and-coming bodybuilders?
I don't pause because I don't know what to say. I pause because I think there's so many things to say, and to pick one is very hard. I think back, and we've talked about this. I mean, the last time I competed was 2021. It feels like it was a year ago, right? And I started competing in 2003 was my first show. I turned pro in 2008, retired in 21. And the problem was I got so ingrained, even when I won, it was just like, okay, next one, or the Olympia, or this. And it was like, going back to the hotel room, sitting with Chris, shooting the shit, bullshitting. And I never really, even now, like I don't, like people, when I went to go see Nick the other day at a gym in Philly called Power Build, and a couple of people were coming up to me. He's like, oh man, I'm such a big fan. And I'm just like, sometimes like I still am like, man, I kind of forgot what I did in bodybuilding. Like, to me, I'm just a guy that likes to work out. And I don't think, I truly don't think I ever enjoyed the moments when they were happening, because you allow it to go so fast, because it's such a fast paced move. Because I mean, at least when me and Branch were competing, you did the Olympia, then 2 days later, you're on a flight, you're going here, you're going there, you're going to another show, you're competing there, you're competing here, you're getting pulled in this direction, photo shoot. And it's like, we never really sat back and was like, holy shit. I was in, I had a column in MD, I had a column in Flex. I've been with Gasp for 12 years. I had, I was with BSN, I was with, Centurion Labs. I've traveled.
We traveled a lot.
And it's just like, you look back and you're like, fuck, I did all that. And like,
but I mean, you're living more in that time than people do in their whole lifetime.
Yeah. Yes.
And that's what I'm talking about. That's why I'm meaning, like, that's how you live life.
Yes.
You can't really go and wait for stuff to happen.
Yeah. Besides enjoy it, because you're gonna blink and it's gonna be over. The other thing I can say is don't be afraid to pat yourself on the back and be proud of shit you've done. Because I feel like we never really are grateful and like pat yourself on the back. It's very hard to do. And I don't like, there's a very small percent of people that have won pro shows. Very small percent of people that have been to the Olympia. Very small percent of people that have traveled the world for free on somebody else's dime. And like, I don't think when I think back to it, I'm like, damn, I did a lot of shit that like a lot of people would die to do. And like, it was second nature to me. And I didn't think about it in the time. I never said, wow, like, I accomplished a lot. Like, fuck, that's awesome. Because I think self-gratification is hard to give yourself in that moment.
I think when you're in it, the only thing you're thinking about is how can I get better for the next one.
Yes.
I was on stage at the Olympia, and Jay was next to me, and he looked over and he goes, bro, try to take this shit in. And I looked at him, and after the show, I thought about what he said, and I was like, I never took it in and enjoyed it. And he said, basically try to live in the moment if you can. I never did that.
Yeah.
Because win, lose, whatever, I was never satisfied with how I looked. I'm sure everybody at this table has a mental picture how you want to look.
Yep.
And you're all chasing it, right?
Yep.
And I never got there, because I think if I did, I'd been done. Because I was looking at this version of myself that I was trying to attain, and I never got there. And so no matter what I did, I'd go back and look at my pictures, video the next day, and I'm like, all right, I need to do this. And yeah, I go out that night, celebrate. If it did, things went well. If not, I was pissed. And the next day, all I want to do was get my obligations done and go back to the gym and train and get ready for the next one.
Branch said something to me a couple of years ago. We're in the car. This was a couple of years ago because it was right after I retired. And you made a comment. You said, I never realized how good I looked until after I retired and saw some pictures of myself.
Yeah, I never liked how I looked.
Neither did I.
I was away from it for years. And years. And I finally looked, I saw a video and I looked at some pictures. And I was like, fuck, I did okay.
Yeah.
You know, and I finally allowed myself that little bit of, and I did all right.
Yep.
You know, and I was cool with it. You know, that being said, kind of bring it full circle, you know, I hope you guys step on stage at the Arnold sometime. You know, for those of you that don't know, the Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic, that stage, the old stage at the Veterans Memorial, every icon of the sport competed on that stage. Yep. And the first time I did that show in 2006, I stepped on that stage, I knew the history. I knew all the guys I looked up to, everybody that was an idol of mine had been right there on that stage and competed. And there's an auditorium, and it was so much better than the current thing. You know, the city of Columbus tore it down, so they didn't have a choice but to move it.
Yeah.
But, you know, the Arnold, he used to call and invite everybody, you know, personally, which was cool. They treated us top notch.
Yes. From
the airport, when they picked you up, you know, from Arnold calling you, inviting you to the airport, to the hotel, it was first class the whole way. And it was such a good experience. And I've got so many good memories of that show. I have more good memories of that show than I do the Olympia.
Yeah.
And, you know, we had a blast. And, you know, me and Johnny were talking, and, you know, there's so many stories I could share. Some I can't share, but with the Arnold. But man, we had a great time there. You know, from our rookie year, you know, going to a team dinner, and we had no clothes that fit us, and me and Johnny are trading shirts and pants and suit jackets, trying to piece together something that looked decent. And we froze our butt off trying to walk to the thing. Dude. And you know, it was so many good. You know, Columbus had some high highs. I left there really mad sometimes, and I left there really happy sometimes.
Yeah,
but that venue was amazing.
The venue was amazing.
Yes, it was awesome.
And the history.
And so it all started. Arnold competed at the Jim Lorimer was a promoter of the Arnold. He was a promoter before, and he promoted the Mr. Olympia there, and they had the Mr. Olympia there. Arnold competed in it, and he told Jim, he said, "This is the best organized show I've ever competed in." He goes, "When I retire, I'm going to come back, and we're going to put on the best bodybuilding show in the world." And he said, a couple years later, he retired, came back, and they put on a competition. I believe it was the Mr. Olympia. Don't hold me to that, but I believe it's the Mr. Olympia they put on. And he told Jim, he said, "You organize it, I'll get the sponsors and the athletes." And they did it off a handshake. I believe it was a Mr. International competition of what it originally was. Then it turned into the Arnold Classic. And he told Jim, he goes, "I want to make the prize money $100,000. This is like 1980s, late 80s, early 90s. He goes, "Because I want bodybuilders to live as pro athletes. Make enough money where they don't have to have a job. They can compete and be bodybuilders." And I think Arnold is more responsible than anyone for putting the financial aspect of the sport in so they could live as pros. You know, when Arnold won the Olympia, I talked to Lou Frigno backstage Olympia one year. I said, "When you got second that year at Arnold, what'd you get?" He goes, $1,200. Because they paid for our airfare. I got second place, got $1,200. I think they had to pay for their own hotel, I think.
Jeez.
And so it was, you know, Arnold he knew
Step up.
He lived it, and he wanted to treat the guys better.
And he still is.
And he still is. And he never got where he came from. And so they did that. They were partners for all those years on a handshake. They grew that show to be the largest in the world and truly to the first class event. And they treated us really well. There was other events that had more spectators, maybe had more, you know, athletes, but that was the centerpiece. Everybody knew that was a bodybuilding show. It was the best on the planet, and they treated us as stars. And it was just a good experience. You know, from the pump-up room, they had this blue carpet, and you had a whole gym back there. And the first time I went, I was like, wow, I've never seen a pump-up room like this. I mean, it had a whole gym back there. And it was you know, Arnold had all his friends there, you know, Hollywood people, rock stars, all these people. And you never knew who was going to show up. You know, Jason Statham, Sylvester Stallone, whoever, they're backstage. Shaq. I mean,
Rock.
Yeah, football players, you know, whoever. And it was cool. You're backstage pumping up, and these guys want to come take pictures with us. You know, I'm taking pictures with rock stars, movie stars. I'm like, and I'm looking at my wife. I'm like, dude, Jason Statham wants to take a picture with me. She's like, oh my God. You know, it was truly just I have so many good memories of that show. And I hope you guys in the future step on that stage and
enjoy it,
and create some good memories. And try it. I'm going to tell you the same thing Jay told me. Try to take it in and enjoy it. You're probably not going to be able to, because you wouldn't be where you are if you weren't so focused, and you're probably never happy with how you look. I mean, You won a couple shows this year. You've won multiple shows. Done very well. I'm guessing you never, either one of you ever afterwards looked at yourself and go, fuck, I was badass.
Nope.
No.
You're like,
Nope.
Picking all the parts out that I want changed.
That's why you are where you're at and why you continue to improve. You're the best in the world at it. But if you can, allow yourself a little bit, because it goes like that.
Yeah.
You know what? It's gone crazy fast.
It'll go faster as you get older, bro.
It keeps.
I've been
speeding up.
retired 10 years, and I remember my last show like it was that. I remember being backstage with you at your first show at my Houston with my show, and he told me, "It's been 10 years you've been with this," and I was like, "No way!" And it goes fast. I remember calling you like it was last month, and I remember meeting you the first time, and he comes up to me, and
I had it all blueprinted out because he had blown out his fucking knee and he had the brace on. He's sitting there, and I Branch was somebody that I idolized. I was like, because I would watch the videos and see him in the magazines, and I love the intensity and like the grit and like the no talking in the gym and like the motherfucking during the sets. Like I love that shit. So I was like, let me ask him about hunting and see if I can get in with this guy.
You knew the right lever to pull.
I did.
You knew the right lever
I was
to pull.
playing chess.
man, I'm like, don't ask me about sets and diet and all this crap. And he's like, yo, man, you like to hunt, right? I'm like, yeah. You hunt with us, yeah. I think we sat there and talked for like 45 minutes.
We did. You were like, why, you hunt? I was like, yeah, my dad owned a hunting and fishing store for like 15 years. He's like, damn, really? Actually, when you have your phone on you?
Yeah.
Call me. First
call me.
Because the first picture he ever sent me, if I'm not mistaken, is the picture I still have for when he calls me. It was the first picture he ever sent me at, I think was it Gold's Flamingo or I think it was LVAC?
Careful now.
Oh, why does nothing come up? Oh, this fucking update.
That Gold's on Flamingo is a
It
cool
was a
gym.
picture. It was a picture of Branch. Let me see if I can find it. It was a picture of Branch with a fucking sitting down next to a fucking massive elk. Yeah, it's not. This update sucks a fucking dick.
Gold's Flamingo. That was a badass shipment.
I was just saying that Gold's
I was just telling you a story about that today.
Yep.
So
Where's Gold's Flamingo? I've never.
they had one on
It's not there
Sahara. They had a Gold's on Sahara and Flamingo. Flamingo was a better one.
Gotcha.
And then when that one closed down, everybody went to Sahara.
Yeah.
And it was a badass gym. I walk in there and it was Olympia week. I wasn't competing.
Yep.
I was a rookie, and Craig Titus is in there.
What year was this?
2000.
You were a rookie because he said, "What's up, rookie?"
Yeah, 2003 maybe.
Mm.
And I think I just beat him at the GNC Show of Strength. I think I qualified, but I didn't compete because I was like, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get 12th. I'm going to win.
Yeah.
And I knew him from Texas, back when he lived here. And he goes, hey, what's up, Rook, or something? And I'm thinking, motherfucker, I just whooped your ass. You call him rookie. And so he goes, I'm training back, man, if you want to work in, but we train fast and we train fucking intense, bro. So, just let you know. And I'm like, all right, man, I'll try not to slow you down. And,
Little did he know.
and so I start training. Of course, now I'm like, I'm gonna get your ass now. I'm looking at him like, you old motherfucker. And so dude, he puked all over the gym, bro. And then I'm like, let's go, bro. I said, you train fast, get your fucking ass up, let's go. He's like, and I'm like, let's go, dude. So I did another set just to show him what a punk he was. And so I fucking would let him quit, right? And I'm like, I'm on him, man, making him go. And he went to the bathroom, and dude, everybody's there, right? Everybody, all the pros, the photographers, everybody, and they're all, seeing this shit. And one of the dudes comes out, and he goes, yo, man, you fucked him up, man. He goes, he's puked all over the bathroom floor, and he's laying in the puke in the floor or something.
Oh my gosh.
Can you tell him? I won't say the name if you don't want to say the story. Can you tell him how to pack him in ice, bro?
So, man, it was a top pro, man.
You won't say the name?
I ain't saying no, because I like, man. I he's a good dude, man. He competed. He's a top 5 guy. He said, hey, man, I'll come train with you and Johnny. Johnny's there. And Johnny's like, no, you don't. He goes, yeah, man, I'm coming down to dress pose at Ronnie's show, man. I'm going to train with y'all. And Johnny's like, no, you ain't. And he goes, yeah, I am, man. He goes, you don't want to do that. And I ain't say nothing. And, so he came down and he called us and he's like, I'm going to come train. I don't know if we did legs or back that day. And of course, it's in the summertime. It's hot as fuck in there, 100 degrees. And we start training. And dude, he got sick, threw up, and his abs locked up. And then his whole body seized up. And he overheated. And dude, Brian's packing him in ice. He had an ice cooler, and he's packing him in ice. And dude, they had to call ambulance, take him to the hospital.
Dude, I was about to say, you ain't used to that Metroflex heat. That gets dangerous, especially if you're heavier.
They're wheeling him out. And Johnny goes, I told you, motherfucker, you don't want to train with us.
When he said packing him in ice, I almost
put
died.
him on ice.
He's like, we're packing him with ice. I was like, what is he, a fucking meat freezer?
It gets hot in Metroflex, man.
Yeah, I mean, you're not used to that. I mean, it's hot. It's a fast pace. It's a different deal. And if you're not used to that, I mean, it'll get you quick.
Jordan, the first time I trained with Branch was I think it was at Metroflex, and I think we did either legs or back, and I was nervous as shit because I was like, I wasn't one of the guys that was like, I'm gonna keep up. I knew it was gonna be fucking rough, so got so nervous. I was like, man, I gotta take a shit. So I went in the bathroom, and it had to be 115 degrees in the bathroom.
You don't take a bathroom Metroflex.
No,
yeah,
you
well,
don't.
I was like, I was so nervous.
I've unfortunately had to take a dump in Metroflex before.
So, dude, I took a
I
shit
was behind the building.
Dude, I took a shit there. I came out of the bathroom. I had to change my shirt. I was fucking soaking wet, bro, just from taking a shit. I was like, this is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, lay down the toilet paper seat, get up, it's all stuck to you.
I already lost 10 pounds before the fucking workout started. I was like, this might be bad.
The best
Hey,
of
the
us.
first year I trained there, I was 17 years old. Ronnie was amateur, and Transit, his workout partner Mark was the hardest training dude I've ever met in my life. And he was about as big as you. He just wasn't as
I remember this guy you told me
Yeah,
about.
he wasn't as put together as good as you, but he was almost 300 pounds and stupid strong. And them dudes kicked my ass every fucking day. I threw up on shoulder day. I mean, dudes, they destroyed me. And I just get mad. I go fucking throw up. And I'm like, I'm gonna kick their ass one day. And I just kept coming back. And for a year that went on. And I won that show. I won the next show. I kept winning. And years later, Ronnie's Mr. Olympia. I'm pro. And we're doing an appearance somewhere. And I said, I go, hey, you remember when I trained with you? You know, when I was a kid? He goes, yeah. I go, why'd you let me train with you? I go, you guys kill me every day. He goes, Branch, he goes, you got trained all the guys at the gym. He goes, we knew if you stuck with it, you'd get big and strong. He goes, you did. It's like, wow.
That's fucking cool.
So,
Earned it.
Yeah.
one last thing before we close out here. What's the biggest compliment you've ever been paid?
You know, honestly, man, the ones that make me feel the best, and it's not like any like single person, but it's like kind of just in the same like thread of a compliment, and it's from fans or people that I don't know, and it's whenever they just genuinely like, thank you so much for your time, you made a light bulb go off, you know, like I really appreciate this, that, and another, and it's not because like it strokes my ego, but it really kind of reinforces the fact that it's like, because we this is a very vain, self-centered sport, right? So, you know, to be able to hear the impact that you're actually able to make, you know, that's probably the thing that gives me like the best feelings, if you will. You know, on a personal level, you know, hearing what you think about me, or, you know, what some of the other guys that I really look up to, like words that they've said in private to me about what they think about like my potential and what I've done, probably. But as far as, you know, like what overarchingly makes me feel best is definitely like hearing from people like that.
Yeah, make it different in other people's life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think the best compliments I've ever gotten from people that I've known from high school and college, and they've said that regardless of everything you've done and everything you've accomplished, you never changed who you were. And I think that's just, I mean, you've known me.
Hard to do.
Very hard to do. I mean, you've known me for how long? Never changed, not one thing, no matter how much I won, how many businesses I start, how much money I made. I am who I am. And I think that's something to be said. I think there's a lot of people, you know, there's a saying like money changes people or it brings out who you really are. And I'm always true to who I am, the way I was raised, my parents, you know, I live by the book as best as I think I can. And when you hear people that have known you for 20, 30 years and they're like, dude, you're still the same fucking way at 43 as you were 18 in high school. Like, you still act the same. You still joke around. You still laugh. You're still the same dude. You don't let anything get to your head. There's people out there that'll say fucking different that don't know me from Adam. Either that or the people, you know, I've had few people come up to me, and I'm sure it's happened to you guys. I mean, I was with Fuad at an appearance. Kid came up to me and he was like, listening to a podcast and something you said literally saved my life because that day I was going to kill myself. And I was like, wow. I'm like, what do you fucking say to that? Like, holy shit. You know, and I don't think bodybuilders realize how much of an impact they have on people. And I think that it goes a lot further than just the weight room and the stage, you know?
Jordan?
Yeah, man. I mean, similar to what Hunter was saying, like I get a lot of DMs from random people that'll say, hey, you helped me make it through something hard, or help me with my faith, or whatever else it may be. There was a guy I met at the Olympia. I saw him wearing my shirt that I collabed with Gasp on, my Road to the Olympia shirt. I just wanted to go up to the guy and thank him for wearing it. He's like, "Oh my gosh, I wanted to meet you so bad. I didn't know where you would be. Hold on, I have something for you." He runs back to his bag. He grabs like this military patch and challenge coin that he wanted to give to me, that he brought to me. He's like, "I wanted you to know how much of an impact you made on me, and just the positivity you've brought to my life." And like, we don't think about that, and sometimes we get burned out by this social media phase of bodybuilding that we've come into, but I can impact more people, thankfully. And so I've definitely appreciated people that have just said that have brought any kind of positivity to them, because that makes it bigger than bodybuilding. 100%. I don't want to just be a bodybuilder. I want to be somebody that brings hope and joy to other people.
Makes a difference.
Me. Yeah.
Michael, I'm gonna give you the last word after I go. So when I was growing up, my father always told me, make him a hand, and my dad was country.
Make a what?
Make him a hand.
Make him a hand.
Yeah. Which means, work hard, and he always told me, he goes, whatever you do in life, son, he goes, make him a hand and be the best at it. He goes, whatever it is. And he goes, whatever you do in life, he goes, be the best at it. And, which, was be a hard worker. And, so after I retired, Ronnie was filming a documentary and, interviewing him. They said, "Man, you're meeting anybody you know is a hard worker." He goes, "You're meeting anybody that worked harder than you, trained harder than you?" He goes, "Yeah, Branch Warren."
Oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wow, because I think Ronnie, I never beat Ronnie in a workout. Ronnie was fucking a machine. And, that was the biggest compliment I'd ever received. And before that had happened, when I just got second to Olympia, and in Metroflex, there was when Ronnie came in, we listened to Ronnie's music.
Yeah.
That was just the way it was. It was like an unspoken
rule
thing. Ronnie worked in, Eat Files in there training, Johnny training. We put his music on and we listened to whatever even after he's retired. We're still competing, but there's respect. And I'm training. I came in, Ronnie was in there working out. He's retired. Had his music on. I started warming up, doing my thing, and then the music changed. My music came on. It's like fucking Kid Rock or Metallica or whatever it was. And I noticed it, right? But I was like, all right, whatever. And I finished my workout, and I'm walking out, and Brian goes, "Hey," Ronnie came up here and said, "Put Branch's music on." And I was like,
it's fucking cool.
And if that's not that big a thing to somebody to understand it, but that was a huge deal for me. Those two things, those were the two biggest compliments I've ever been given. By the man I looked up to so much.
Yep.
And that was cool.
That's awesome.
Last word.
Yeah. When people say that I have time for them, and they remember something I said a long time ago, and are reconnecting about that later, and say like, I made an impact on them. That's what I feel is, because sometimes I try to give people all my time, regardless of who they are and where they are and everything. Like I don't discriminate. Like I just do the same philosophy to everyone, regardless of who they are. And when they notice that and appreciate that, and maybe, today I heard from a woman that. I met, maybe 25 years ago, gave some advice, a little bit like I do every day. And it still had an impact on the person. And I got that retold to me today. And I was like, wow.
She remembered that.
Yeah, something that I said 25 years ago is still ringing in someone's head, you know. And they said like, there was such a, good, kind of words that I had for the journey in life that is still with them, That made me, feel a little bit extra, that every little grain of detail that we say or do has a meaning and a purpose. And that's have to be, super generous and intentional with stuff like that. Just like the opposite has.
Yeah.
Just so I feel like that was a good message today to me.
That's awesome.
That
100%.
Always stick to your guns and always deliver your philosophy, what you believe in.
Yeah, be true to who you are.
Yeah, be true to who you are.
Well said.
And I was thinking when you were talking about padding on the back, like it's important. I think you are so caring about your surrounding that I feel like, that's probably why you feel like it's hard for you to pad yourself on the back.
Yeah.
Because you're caring for the surrounding all the time. But it's like, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
But it's also good that we think about all this, that we have an impact.
Yeah. Stuff in between.
Yeah.
Well, guys, first weekend in March, Columbus, Ohio. We'll be at the Arnold Classic, guys. We'll be there shaking babies and kissing hands, as I like to say. We got a booth there. So we got a big meetup on Saturday at the booth. So come by, say hello. Love to see you and meet you. And these guys will be there. And a lot of other top athletes in the sport will be there. After that, the biggest week of the year for us is the Fit Week Homecoming.
Yep.
Better Bodies Classic, guys. It kicks off on a Wednesday. And trip to Metroflex Gym, the original Metroflex Gym. Thursday, taking everybody to Eagles Canyon Racetrack. Get a chance to drive in a race car if you've never went into a corner at like 130 miles an hour.
This motherfucker right here, the first ride he ever took me for.
Puckered up your butthole.
Dude, we're going into that first turn, and I'm like legit, like, Mike. Like one of those things.
So, like you said, it will pucker your ass up. And, but it is a blast. So if you haven't done it, come out. They also have an ATV course, which is just as crazy. Got a drifting course, go-kart course. We treat everybody to lunch, and then that night we got a dinner. Last year we served 500 meals.
Yeah.
This year it's probably gonna be close to double that, I'm guessing. So it's a 2-day show. Friday it kicks off NPC Better Bodies Natural competition. We have the NPC Better Bodies Classic on Saturday. We have 13 events this year. We have over 100 booths, so it's going to be a badass expo.
Did you get the midget wrestling?
We're bringing them back.
I could do it for you this year.
Man. So they'll beat your ass. They're tough. So me little dudes. But so if you can make it, April 10th and 11th, Dallas Market Hall, Dallas, Texas, guys. Come on by. Open house at Destination Dallas. Open house at Metroflex Gym. So I hope to see you here. And then after that, we're going to Sweden. We got the shows in Stockholm. We have a regional qualifier. And we have a pro qualifier the next day. It's some of the best run shows, probably in Europe.
Yeah.
It's growing exponentially. And then we do it again in the fall with another regional qualifier, another pro qualifier in Sweden, guys. So hope to see you there. So on behalf of myself, Michael Johansson, all the fellas, Gasp Better Bodies, we'll see you at the Arnold.